In this video, we'll start discussing about the databases, the types of databases available, the types of data which can be managed, and the concepts and design behind the database management, database development, database administration. I have more than 30 years experience with different kinds of databases. So I like to share my knowledge. So we'll start with what are the types of databases available. A database means a storage. We want to store a lot of data, and we have to find the best storage options available and how we can handle the data. So let's start with the different types of databases. The first one is called relational database. Second one is called hierarchical database. Third one is network database management system. And fourth is object-oriented databases. A relational database, what are the primary things that are needed? We need the tables, keys, relationships. Again, the tables will have rows, columns. Rows are called entities, columns are called attributes. And we need some indexing to be done to retrieve the data faster. So we use index on all the tables and multiple columns of the same table. When we talk about the keys, two types of keys are there. A primary key to identify one single record or multiple records in a table using one ID, employee ID in an employee table. Next is a foreign key. It relates to different methods. I'll explain later. Some examples of common databases available in the market. Most famous is Oracle database. It can handle huge amounts of data, and they have several applications to support it. SQL Server data for medium-sized corporations. MySQL database for web page, PHP. These two go together. This is a brief introduction of the relational database. The second one we are going to talk about is hierarchical. When we say hierarchical, it's order. We are arranging in particular order. So there are tables, storage. It's the most common concept. It follows a tree-like structure or a parent-child model. The data model of hierarchical data is parent-child relationships. Like a parent, child 1, child 2, child 3, child 4. Then this child becomes a parent, child 1, child 2. Second child has one child. Third child, three children. Here 2 children, fourth child. So this structure is called hierarchical data. Next we move on to network database management system. We call network DBMS. Because now everything is, after the internet came 20 years ago, everything data is dispersed throughout the world. Even a single company will have data centers worldwide, large companies, so that the data is not stuck in one place, for faster retrieval, and storage. In this model, each record can have multiple primary records and or multiple secondary records. I'll explain about in detail later. They still need to have relationships between the entities, which is the data and rows. It kind of follows like many-to-many relationships and one-to-many relationships in some cases. And the fourth and the last one is called object-oriented databases. This is very important. It's most popular now. It's called OOD. It's a different kind of concept, different from all other databases. It uses the large projects. It's called OODBMS. The concepts behind object-oriented, the common terms you hear of are classes, inheritance of the properties, encapsulation of the entities. This is very brief introduction about the 4 different databases available in the world. In the later lessons, I'll start explaining one by one with a lot of examples. I hope you like this video and watch my other videos about the C language, HTML, JavaScripts. It's at a beginner level there too. So you can start linking all these, it will make sense out of it. Thanks. Hi, in the previous first video about databases, we discussed about 4 different types of databases: relational, hierarchical, network, object-oriented. So I'm going to start with the first, relational database. What is a relational database? I'll give an example. It's a brief introduction. It's used to manage small, medium, large or extra large data. It depends on the company size, how they are going to manage the data. Data warehouse is used for very large data management. There are some concepts behind it, and these are the basic operations of data. When we say data, what do we want to do with the data? First thing, we want to insert the data. Create a database, follow some procedures. But what, as a user, what do we want to use with the tables or data? We want to insert data into the storage, and we want to select query. When we go into the web page and write a query, it brings search results, like Google, and those are all retrieved from databases of different kinds. So we want to query the data. Third operation is we want to update the data, change the value of some of the attributes, and you want to delete or purge the data. Like the old data, we don't want to keep it. If it's not used, we have to purge it or delete it, because it will help in the execution of the query. If we purge properly, it will help in the execution of the select query, will be faster, and all other operations too. This is a relational database. You can see here it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows, 6 columns, and 1, 2, 3, 3 rows. There are some more rows. For example, it's a HR table, human resource table. The first column is called employee ID. Second column is employee name. Third column, employee address. Fourth column is employee title. Fifth one is employee salary. This is a basic table of a HR. ID is 1001, name, address, manager, $100,000 salary. 1002, Susie, address, admin, $40,000 per year salary. So this is the data type of this is number. This is string, number. These two are numbers when you define the data types, and so on. This is basic relational database, and we like to select query. Select star from T1. I'm calling this table as T1. So select star from T1. This will be the result. Next is you want to insert data. There are 3 rows, right? I want to insert more rows. So I'll say insert into T1 values of 45H. I'm just giving a basic example. We can put a query where employee name equal to, or where employee ID equal to 1001. Let's say the manager got a raise, so I have to update the salary, right? Or insert new records, you can insert here. The next one we're going to talk about is updating the salary of the employee. Update T1, set salary equal to say 150,000, where ID equal to 35. This is just an example I'm giving. And delete. If you want to delete from T1 where ID greater than 1 and ID less than 100. So about 98 records will be deleted. So basic operations we discussed. In the further examples, I'll explain more about the common databases and give examples for each of the different databases. Thank you.